Hey everyone, I'm Jay, founder of Matters of My Heart and Jay the Author Publishing, and I'm coming to you with a very exclusive interview with the one, the only Mr. Eddie Wright, the author of Voice for the Silent Fathers. Mr. Eddie Wright, he is currently serving time in federal prison, but he has such a powerful story. And so it was really exciting to talk to Mr. Wright about all of the wonderful things that he's doing, how he's changed his life around, and how he's used his situation and his life and his experiences to inspire others to be positive no matter what situation you're going through. But let me not just tell you, why don't you hear it for yourself? Listen in.
This call is now being recorded.
Yeah, so Mr. Wright, it's so exciting to talk to you. How you been?
I've been good. Did you get a chance to read the book?
I did. Listen.
Okay. What?
Okay.
Be honest, what?
It really did pull on my heartstrings when I read your story, especially when you were talking about your son and all of the challenges you went through in your relationship with your child, because I am also going through challenges in my relationship with my daughter. And though it's not the same kind of challenges, like your son has really been through a really rough life.
Right.
And now where he is now, especially dealing with something that's going to cost him his life, it's really tough.
Yeah. Well,
so,
it's everything in life, and even though we look at some of the negative things, like the obstacles that we're challenged with, we still just got to look at the positive side of it and know that
This call is from a federal prison.
there's an authentication.
yes.
But yeah. But like even in how the tragedy, the difficulty that he's dealing with, and like even this difficulty I'm dealing with being in here, it makes us who we are and how we challenge it, and we gotta take it, and it's just like, okay, this is what it is, and now I'm gonna make the best out of it. And in a way, it's like a lot of dudes get mad when I say, but like prison saved me, because the route that I was going, it was it was bad. It could have ended up a lot worse, and then there's a lot of dudes that I know that it did end up worse. And then sometimes I got to point that out to my family. I'm like, well, you see, I'm here. You see, we're still able to talk, and we're still able to get these visits. And you know what I mean? You got to I always look at things in a positive perspective, even with him, because he got his shit together, going through he got everything together, going through everything that he was dealing with. It made him wake up, and start living every day like, it's what it is, it's like, this is a blessing. So don't just, I did get a lot of emails from parents that they're dealing with it with their children. Some I don't even, sometimes I don't, it's not that I have the answer to be like, this is how you do it. Nah, it's like the end result is it's going to be hard times. You just got to show that unconditional love, and
One of the things that stuck out to me, and it really, like, reading your book really did make me think about my relationship with my daughter. And I'll just give you like a short, brief background. Is my daughter tried to kill me. She put bleach in some things that I was drinking, and she expected me to consume it, which I did, but then I realized that something was off. And so when I called the police, they charged her with 4 counts of felony and 2 counts of misdemeanor as an adult. She was 16 at the time. And so I had to fight the court system to drop her charges to juvenile so that she could get resources for whatever it is that's going on in her mind that caused her to want to be so angry with me to try to kill me. And so it's been a 3-year battle going, because she's angry with me now. She won't talk to me, but she's not in jail. She's, signed over to the Department of Juvenile Services, but that relationship has been damaged. And so I don't quite, I gave it over to God, but there's still moments like Mother's Day, when I read your book, or now my birthday is coming up, where I miss that relationship that I had with my daughter. And so how was it for you? How how was it for you to continue to fight for the relationship with your son? Because I know now it's in a better place, but I read in your book where it was real tough, where he wasn't talking to you. Even for a year, he didn't talk to you.
Yeah.
How did you get through that?
he goes hard. I mean, you know what? It's when one thing, I have my other kids also, and sometimes I would get so, I couldn't let him throw me so much off with, and then I had to worry about my daughters too, which I talk about, so I knew that, I also knew being a young father, I used to take myself back to that mind frame on how I was thinking then. And you think the world is against you, and you think no one loves you. You think your parents, the ones that have no ulterior motive, you think they're out to get you. So I just understood where he was coming from, and I said, you know what, I got to give him his time, his space to work it out. And I'm scared because I know what these streets will do. I know what he's going through. But that's where my trust, faith, and belief that, in my high power, in something, would come out. And even if it didn't turn out the way I did, which it did turn, even if it didn't, like, there was the time I thought he would be lost to the streets, where I was scared about the call that they found him dead or something like that. But I knew that even if the worst happened, it's still, it's more to life. I can't understand everything. I just have my trust and faith in God that, everything works out for the best in the end,
Wow. And, I thought, yes, I thought I had, tough faith until you just spoke that. Because, you're looking at a difficult situation, but yet you're so positive and you're so on fire to help somebody else and, carry your message that it's all about parenting and it's about love and it's unconditional love. And that's what I'm learning from you. Your book is so powerful. So I'm so glad that I was able to meet you. I'm so glad that we touched base. I'm so glad that, you were able to pour into me, even unexpectedly for me. I thought I knew all the answers. I thought I had it all, but you know what?
Yeah, this is what it is. This is like this is like you see how God works in your life. It comes out of nowhere. It just comes out of nowhere, and you be like, the last thing you get it is like, wow, I'm in here. This is where the egos are high. Every guy I talk to in here, they have, I got to read the book. I mean, I can't keep the copies I have in here. There's lines for them already. I have my own copies, and I pass them around, and everybody's like, I want to read it. And it's like, people would think like, you're going to let them know about that? I'm like, man, I'm an open book. It's real. And everyone has a story. My nephew, I knew it when I saw my nephew doing this. And, my nephew, a guy told me, he's like, my nephew, he shouldn't be twerking. And I was like, well, he's like, I knew it, but he was too old to be twerking. He shouldn't be twerking with all the girls. And I said, well, you just gotta love them. You know what I mean? They know that. They just want to know how to be able to love and accept their family member, their nephew, their son, their uncle. So
it's difficult with a boy growing up.
Yeah, with a boy, they all say that right away. It's different because we're men, and I know it's not. Loving isn't a male or female thing, and it's not none of that. It's just love. Love is love. Mhm. Right.
Love is love. That is absolutely true. Love is love. It's interesting too. On Mother's Day, my daughter called me to tell me that she was gay, and she's 20 years old now. And so she discovered that she was gay. And I don't know, Eddie, I don't know if I completely believe her. I don't see the signs.
Well,
Are there signs?
It's not up to you to believe.
Wow.
If she believes it.
School me, Mr. Wright. School me, Mr. Wright.
It's not, I had, the whole struggle was I didn't want to believe it. Like, I saw the signs, I saw the signs early. My whole struggle, what was ripping me up is I didn't want to believe it because I wanted to try to change him. I said, no, I'm going to die. It was just coming to acceptance. That's what makes all the difference. And who cares? So what? So what?
Yeah.
So what? All right, this is what it is. That's what makes you happy. Isn't that what life is about? I want you to be happy. If you're happy doing it, then you're happy. He still does. Look, okay, for the shooting, he did a fundraiser for the thing down in at Pulse and all that. And he said, he had yo, I'm doing I'm dressing up as Beyonce and I'm performing. Well,
wow.
you know, have a good time. If you're happy, that's good. I just, again, like,
right.
you know, no more looking at Beyonce, no more. Another one scratched off the list. but yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But yo, I tell you the truth, we're at the level, like our relationship is so close now. It's like we call every week. If you don't answer my emails, and he's like, you know, we go back and forth with that. Like, yo, why you not answering me? And we go, you know, he's like,
right.
I can tell how much we've gone, like to where I'm asking, like, yo, what's up with this guy? You know, what's up with your boyfriend? Like, we there. Remember, I say there's limits, and it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, but our limits are slowly, you know, opening up, and they're getting wider, and we're able to really discuss it. And I could see the comfort that he has with being able to talk to it. Even though it's now, even though it's so late in his life, because he's only 25, it's later and he's grown. But what he wanted so much back then, you know, I'm able to still heal it now by just being there and being there authentically. And I could tell him, like, yo, man, you know, you're bugging me with this, and just being 100 with it. And it doesn't matter. I'm still his dad, you know. And no matter what you go through with your daughter, the hateful things they say and all that thing, they make you be like, damn, you know. They still love you because he said some stuff to me through the years, you know. He goes at me hard, you know, and he has no, you know, no cut on it either. And he's been like, yo, and I'm like, you know, and I'm in a position where he really used to get fly with me over the phone because he knew he'd be like, you can't do nothing. What? And, you know, that's just what it is, you know. I just knew that in the end, you know, I'm still his dad, and he'll come to it. You know, I tried. I make my effort, you know. But I was a hell of a teenager too. So how can I judge? You know, look what I put my mother through. You know, we all do it, and they, you know. So you just have to stay strong with your daughter. They're dealing with just a regular. You know, there's no regular teenager, but everybody has their struggles, their difficulties. And it's up to us to just guide them the best we can. Just know that, you know, even no matter if you hit rock bottom, I'm going to still be there.
Yeah.
And that's,
you know what? Your book, Voice for the Silent Fathers, is really, for me, it was a glimpse of hope for me to continue on loving my daughter regardless of what she says. And even if she doesn't see it now, she will see it as she gets older. But my job as a parent to continue to love her and support her where she is in the space
that she's in right now.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yay. There we go. Authentication. Yeah. So that was great. That was a great glimpse of hope for me. So I wanted to personally thank you for, you know, being so transparent and being so raw. Your book really covers a lot about the stereotypes of homosexuality. Like, it is so raw and it's so real. So I wanted to thank you for pouring out your life and, you know, being so transparent and being so vulnerable with a world that is so not so forgiving when it comes to homosexuality. And so that takes a lot of bravery. It takes a lot of courage. And so I wanted to personally thank you for that, for pouring into my life. You know, even though it was for the fathers, you know, I took that as there's so many lessons in your book that's for everyone, for all parents. So thank you for that.
Oh, wow.
And so I know that we don't have too much. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're definitely welcome. You're definitely welcome.
This call is now being recorded.
All right. So how's things? We haven't talked in so long.
Yeah, just, you know, an hour, a little over an hour, but it was good. I was, like, thinking of what we talked about, and it was, you know, what you're going through, and I know you were like, well, you know, the difficulty you go through with your kids and, you know, with life. It's like when we worry, when we can't understand, like I said, sometimes we can't understand situations and they work themselves out and we look back later and say, wow, if I had to go through that to get to where I am now, you know. And life is always acting like that. Life is always going down like that. So, you know, with kids, it's difficult. You know, we go through it. I have a teenage daughter now, and you know, even my younger one, you know, they amaze me about what they're going through now. And it's just like you just got to, you know, hold tight, you know. Everything will work itself out, but, you know. I just want to let you know that
Yeah.
after we was talking, like I was thinking about it while I was like, wow, you know. So.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. You know, I often tell God that I would like for him to let me choose some of my trials instead of him choosing it, because, you know, it wouldn't be so bad if I chose my own stuff. But he ain't listening to me.
Well, it's not that is that we do. It's, you know, God isn't like this, you know, a chess player. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's how we respond to certain things, you know. And yes, we these obstacles that we're given, like sometimes you would think God is like an evil little kid or a practical joker, as I say sometimes. I say like, you got to be kidding me. To the point where it made me lose my faith, you know. It made me say, you can't be no God like that. But it's us knowing ourselves and knowing the power. You know, these challenges that we get. Our intimate relationship with our higher power, whichever it is specifically to us, so that we can overcome personally. You know, we all live in one world, but we all live in our each individual world. You understand? How we perceive things, you know, individually we are creating our own experience based on how we perceive things, on what we're thinking. So it's imperative to think positively, and even in the midst of chaos, understand there's perfect patterns in it. You know, we're all gonna be all right. You know, in the end, it's all gonna work itself out. But you know, sometimes, you know, I get like, whoa, and then that's where I got to detach myself, take a couple of breaths, you know, hold on.
Right.
Everything happens for a reason, and just don't panic, you know what I mean? It's like, I tell dudes that all the time. When I see them panicking in here, they get to extreme, and it's just the fear. It's fear of what's going to happen. They feel, we're in a panic, we got to act this way. Hold on, don't panic, chill out. You know, let's everybody calm down, and, you know, and that's what, you know, outside in life is the same thing, you know?
Yeah, that is absolutely true. So thank you for sharing that with me. I completely receive that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So I know I can talk forever because I have the gift of gab. But so this time, let's talk about your new project that you released, or that you're releasing, because I have a part of it, but I haven't read it yet. So why don't we let the people know, your followers, your fans, what's your new project that you're working on now?
Well, what you said, you have part of it.
I have a download part of it that was.
Okay. All right. The series, I have the Gangster the Guru. It's the Gangster Turn Guru is like a series, and it's basically like the way we're talking now. Okay, and I just did the ebook. I just did the ebook, a day in the life with Coffee in Paradise, and that was like one day in here of just my conversations, you know, how I perceive life from a positive, you know, making the best of every moment in here, no matter what my circumstances, and then, you know, interacting with a friend of mine.
This call is from a federal prison.
Who's just totally, you know, he's like he's at the opposite end of the spectrum from me, you know. He's just the most negative person, and I try to get him to be appreciative for life and show him that he's creating his experience based on how he's thinking. And it's like, basically like the way our conversation is, you know, when you open up and I open up, that's how life is working itself out. You know what I mean? And
that's true.
we all each one to teach one another. So that project, like what I just finished to my sister, to my sister, finished typing, which will probably be released next year, is my whole process of that. You know, it basically takes off when I got, you know, the next memoir basically is the evolution of a gangster turned guru, and that is just, I just finished that for next year, and it's basically, that's what it is. It's like the laws and life principles of how life operates, you know, the love of God, and understand no matter what we're, you know, faced with, what we're challenged with, it's up to us. We have that gift to choose whether we're gonna make it a miserable, you know, we could think negatively of it or think positively. No matter how negative it seems, we could just add the positive to it and make something come out of it, you know.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to read it, because, you know, it would seem like it's an easy concept that if you stay positive no matter what you're going through, that things would open up to you and you're able to enjoy life. But it's not that easy when you're dealing with some real heavy stuff, you know, like the loss of a loved one or challenges with your children or even you being locked away. And like I said to you in our last interview, you're more free than the people that are out here.
Right.
And it has a lot to do with your mindset. So I'm glad that you're making a decision to share that knowledge and that wisdom with us because Lord knows I need it.
Right. I mean, it could have been. I could have easily took the route, and most of the guys in here they write hood books. I could have made. I wrote those easy. It's simple for me to write that. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
And I when I first started writing, I did. I was like, man, I could, or just writing my life. And everybody be like, yo, that sounds like a hood book, but that's not who I want to be. I don't want to influence anyone that way. I want to say, yo, this is who I was, but this is how I'm expressing myself to the world now, and. If I can do it, why can't you? I'm not different from anybody. We all are that special, that spiritual power within ourselves. It's just what potential, what level of degree of understanding do you have of it so you can live that potential. And that's what I try to express to everybody. And, you talk about people going through it. I'm in here with dudes that got nothing but letters, and double-digit numbers. And it's like I'm in the ultimate internship. That's how I feel. It's like this is what it is.
Right.
When you try to inject the hope and joy and happiness to even say love, you know what I'm saying? In here, they're like, what? You bugging? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I have to do. And I'm able to do it, and it's respectful because I bring that peace, I know that dudes really don't want to always go that gangster route, so they call me to mediate certain problems because they know I'm not going to be like, just go get a knife and stab him. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, hold on, let me go talk with dude. Let me see what the problem is. Let me, because there's so much politics in here, but it's the politics in life also. Because I always point that out. Well, you got mad because he did that, but what you going to do when you get a job out in the world and they tell you, yo, you have to do this? You got to know how to respond to that. Don't react. And, that's what I try to.
It sounds like if you. Go ahead.
No, you're saying it sounds like what?
It sounds like you're aware of the authority and the power that you have within you, and so you begin to move in that. And people can't help but to respond to that because it's not really you that they're responding to; it's the God in you.
Right, and that's and that's why I always tell them, I'm just doing what you're able to do. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not. I just took the time to know myself. When I was thinking about what you were saying about with your daughter and things, like she just doesn't know who she is yet, and she's trying to figure that out. So the anger, you know what I mean, which all teenagers are dealing with. That's the that's what we have to like hold our breath through and just constantly love them through because look at my mother's been holding her breath for years, you know what I mean? Look at all I put her through, what you read about in that book, and even this, it goes even crazier, and but at the same time, and she has the same, the same almost conversation me and you are having, because you're like, God, I'm kind of mad at God right now because of the trials and tribulations, and I have to tell her, like, Ma, it's not that, as much as, you have to get right with God so you could see, understand it. I know it's hard to see the logic and reason in this, but, you have to come to understand it in your life, because as much as there are kids, they have to live their life and they have to be happy. You know what I mean?
You're right.
And it's like, I don't blame anybody else. I chose the life that I led. You know what I mean? I was not, forced. Everybody could look good for reasons. Yes, I made bad choices and decisions because I had bad influences, and this is, everybody has their individual story. But in the end, you come to the choices and decisions I make, and you have to accept that. You know what I mean? And now, in this moment right now, you have to make the same choices and decisions that's going to create your future. And I try to point that out to do no matter what situation they're in. I don't care if you got 2 life sentences and all your appeals are shot down. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. You know what I mean? So stay positive, stay and make the best. Even if you're stuck in here forever, make the best out of it. What you want to go to the hole? You want to go? This. Think about your family.
Right.
Yeah. I can go too. Great. I have to gift the gab too, as you know. Like, this is it is no problem. I can get on the soapbox.
Call is from a federal prison.
Okay, there we go again. No, I love listening to you talk because I'm learning so much about you. So I think you said that the gangster turned guru, I can't even say the word, but it's a series, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like
So
I just have a whole. Yeah.
Go ahead. How many in a series?
But no, it's like that. I have that book, and that's like it's like the brand of the book. You know, it's like right now.
Okay.
Like the last memoir. You know, Andrew's book, the voice book, was actually one of those series that was going to come, but I just needed that one to go out. It was just too important. You understand?
Right. Yeah.
I expected to release The Evolution of a Gangster Turned Guru first, you know, but then that book was just more important to me, so I put that one out first, and then now I'm gonna do this next one. I just did the ebook, you know, that was just a short book, just like I just did that just to put an ebook out real quick, you know. And
wow.
Then,
okay.
You know, I have like I've written, you know, I got the fitness book, the health and well-being book, the Gangster the Guru cookbook.
Yeah.
I have, you know, I've written a lot of books because I've been here, you know. So that's how I've found my freedom. I've utilized my time productively. I don't allow I don't allow myself to just, you know, every day every day I'm busy. I have a schedule. I have, you know, things that I have to do, things that I have to get done to be productive, you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like I'm blessed that I have this time, especially for a writer, to be able to not worry about so many other things, people on the outside world, and perfect my craft and work on what I want to write and how I want to write, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, you have grown such a large platform of having important conversations, you know, that people are just in need to know how to live a life of positive mind thinking when you are faced with so many challenges, and not just little bit. I mean, like shit just hit the fan. You know, like they say, when it rains, it pours. Like every damn thing that's going wrong. How can you center yourself and be positive through it all and know that it's all going to work for your good? And you have built a platform of positive mindset, which is a huge demand for people who are outside of the federal prison. Isn't that something?
Right. That's you know, everybody they joke me about it and they go crazy, but they know, like, no matter what's happened, I'm always like, hey, you know, I don't have to understand it with logic and reason. I don't, you know, I could grasp that, but I just know, you know, that's where your faith and conviction comes in, you know. So it's definitely, you know, like one of the, I think the next one I'm gonna have my sister send me, you know, because right now I'm in pretrial, so I'm back on appeal right now. So I sent all my books to my sister, but I'm in New York right now.
Okay.
So,
nice.
like, yeah, because I'm on my appeal. So hopefully I give all this time back. But I'm working on, like, now I'm just going back books that I sent her, and I'm working on them. So, and one of them is like the You Can't Think. It's all really how we think. People don't know the power of our thoughts.
Yes.
You know, I had a book like, yo, you can't think. I tell dudes that all the time. You don't know how to think. You think from fear.
Yes.
You don't understand how to think. So all you got to do is learn how to think, and your life will change. That was the 30-second mark. That was the 30-second mark. These calls go so fast.
I know it does. Okay, so any final message that you want to say to your followers?
What? What'd you say?
Any final message that you want to say to your community, to your followers, to your fans?
Well, like I say, it's you know, everything is just all comes down to unconditional love and learning to just stay positive and look at life as the cup is half full. It's not half empty. You know, I'm always telling dudes that. Just look at everything from a different perspective.